Expectations. We've all heard the word, and we all have our general meaning of what it is. But I'm here to tell you at age 80, expectations change as we age, and our life views evolve. My expectations of what life would hold for me when I was 20, 30, 40, vastly different than what they are now. What I enjoy now about my expectations is that they're more realistic. They're not monetarily involved. They're not in what house am I going to own? How am I going to exceed at my job? They're more everyday. The freedom to be me, not always having to be politically correct. I worked for many years, had to be politically correct, did not like it. I wasn't rude to people, and I respected people, but at the same time, I didn't want to just be a yes man. Oh, yes, okay, I agree with. No, no, no. There were a lot of things I didn't agree with, but because the job was important, I had to go along with it. And now the beauty of it is, I don't have to live up to the expectations of others. I set my own standards. I go with the flow. I do what I believe is right. I don't try to offend anybody. I have respect for other people, but I don't live up to their expectations. I can listen to them and I can absorb them. And if any of them are good, I certainly can incorporate them in my life, but I don't have to anymore. And I have the freedom to speak my mind and decide the course of the remaining days of my life. I don't know how many more days I have left. Hopefully, it's quite a bit. But I do have the freedom now to speak my mind. If I don't agree with something, I say it. Again, I don't try to be offensive and I try to respect others, but I do say what I want to say when I want to say it. I've noticed, and maybe this is just my perspective. Thank you. Sometimes it's hard to speak at 80. But my own perspective is that people expect tolerance to be a one way street. It's all geared towards them and not from them. But tolerance isn't a one way street, it's a two-way street. Respect is a two-way street. You have to give in order to get. You have to respect the other person's point of view. You don't have to agree with it, but they have the full right to say it. I spent 23 years in the military defending that right. You don't have to be smart, you don't have to be brilliant, you can be a fool, but you still have the right to say what you want as long as it's not derogatory, inflammatory, or illegal. Time to no longer worry about tomorrow. And I realized that I never had control over that anyway. How many times have I worried about what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next year? Am I going to get a raise? Am I going to get a good review? Am I going to be able to go on that trip? Am I not going to get sick? So many of those things are out of your control, but we spend so much time worrying about them, when in reality, we should only worry about the things we can control, not the other things that come into our life. If you can't control it and your actions can't fix it, hold it, or otherwise, then it really has no place in your life. You know, uh, and at 80, I have adapted my lifestyle to my physical limitations. I go to Italy a lot. I used to be able to walk from one end of Florence to the other end without breaking a sweat, without needing to stop for anything, maybe other than a glass of wine. But what can I say? Now it takes a much longer period of time to accomplish that same walk that took 20 minutes before can take an hour, hour and 15 minutes. But it's okay. I'm fine with adapting my limitations to working within them instead of fighting them, because when you fight your limitations, you are going to lose. You know, I take time now to enjoy my passions. Uh, I no longer take them for granted or push them back to a back burner. I have a limited amount of time, as we all do, but I want to enjoy those days. I want them to be fulfilled. I know some people say you shouldn't have a bucket list, but sadly, I have a bucket list, and I want to try to accomplish as many of those things as I can. The list changes as I got older. I mean, at one point, I wanted to go climb Mount Everest to the base camp. Not going to happen now. 7 or 8 years ago, I climbed to the top of the Duomo in Florence, Italy. And now when I go, I stand down in the piazza, have a glass of wine, and look up and marvel at how I did that once before. But the key here is to accept your limitations, have your expectations be realistic. You can't have, at my age, the real expectations of a 20-year-old. My mind keeps telling me that I can play baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but I know it'd be taking almost all my breath to run out to center field. So do what you can. Sit down and be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. I know we do that all the time. Well, I can do this, and I can do that. And your mind thinks that you can do things that your body knows you can't pay for. So keep your expectations reasonable. Accept those limitations that age imposes upon you mentally, physically, and be grateful that you can still do a lot. You just have to do it differently. You don't have to give up what excites you, what makes you happy, what puts a smile on your face and a smile on your heart. You don't have to give those up, but you do have to adapt. You do have to be realistic. You do have to accept your limitations. Don't give up your respect for others. Be yourself. Accepting your limitations doesn't mean you have to change. You can still be respectful. You can give respect when it's earned. You can call out something that's wrong. Be you. Growing old does not take that away from you. You can still be you till the very last breath. I hope we can do this again, and I look forward to talking to you on a whole myriad of different topics. For now, be good, take care, and we'll talk again soon.